is that he tried to justify
that's not a million,
the transatlantic slavery
if the
and say that
population
the Arab
is 100,000
slavery
today,
was a good thing.
what do you think the
it was
population
not a
was
good
100
thing.
years ago?
Very small.
Thank you.
Listen, I speak
So that's my point.
You don't know what you're talking about.
What was the population of the slave?
Okay, can we talk? Can we talk?
You look at me. You see me in the
Brother, can you take him? Ali, can you take him?
Don't judge me. Don't look at me and judge me.
We're going to continue talking to this.
I'm not saying it's millions.
So-
You didn't miss it. It's at least hundreds of thousands.
No.
Really?
No.
Okay.
Sources. Why do you want
I'll give you a quick
sources?
Yeah. So the back.
Sources.
Yeah, I've got the source here.
Numbers. Read the numbers.
Yeah. So the back, you'd agree, I hope, was signed in 641 AD.
Listen.
And it lasted 700 years.
Give me numbers. We have numbers for Atlantic.
Oh, for God's sakes! I'm explaining the numbers to you, and you're saying, "Give me numbers, give me numbers." I'm explaining it.
No.
to
Do you have a source with numbers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The source is that the Pact was signed in 641 AD between the Muslims and the Christian kingdom of Makuria, which is in East Africa, Nubia. Okay. And the terms of that treaty, according to the Arab
Can you Can you go away? Can you go?
historian Al Makrizi, the terms of the treaty are: each year you are to deliver 360 slaves, which you will pay to the Imam of the Muslims from the finest slaves of your country. So 360 slaves per year, and the Bucks lasted 700 years.
No, that's a lie.
It did.
But wait.
Okay, 360 times 700. Let's calculate that.
Who said 700 years it lasted?
I'll find another source for that, but it did.
No.
First of all,
wait.
how much that comes to.
Can you take him away, please?
Let's
We're
see
going
how much that comes to. 360 times 700. 360.
I don't accept the 700 number. You're wasting your time. I don't accept
it.
it.
250,000. Okay, that's 250,000 as a
700 years.
Yes, it lasted 700 years.
And even if that's true,
and it was signed during the reign of your rightly guided caliph.
So you're making
under
my point.
the reign of Umar. Was that
James,
rightfully guided? Do you condemn that or
agenda,
not?
my friend.
James, you have an agenda, and you're getting desperate now. You're getting desperate now.
I actually thought you were being genuine.
Okay,
but the certain statements you made, you've got an agenda.
Salafis believe that your caliphs are rightly guided.
He's making my point.
Are you not Salafis? Are you or are you not?
I'm a Muslim.
Okay, you don't want to answer. That's fine. You can say yes or no. Yes or no? Are you a
Okay,
Salafi?
wait.
Okay.
Now that you've given us the number.
Rightly guided?
Now
is this rightly guided? Asking for 360 slaves a year. Is that a rightly guided action?
When you finished. Okay.
And
Now, when you finished.
At least hundreds of thousands. That's what I've shown.
Okay, good. You made my point. You made my point by giving that number. I'm talking about Atlantic slave trade. My point was that there is no comparison. The reason now he's gone. There is no comparison between what happened to Africans in the. First of all, within the Muslim civilization, the institution of servitude was not African. It was not based upon race. Rather, a lot of these servants were being bought from Central Asia. They were Turkic. Some came from Africa. Some were Arabs. Okay, so it was not. Sorry. Who's? Ignore them, man, please. Okay. So, my point. You just made my point. I asked you, I painted a picture of Atlantic slave trade in front of all these people who are listening. I gave you the details, the grim details, and I asked you, give me one of those. And one of the things I forgot was the numbers. The numbers, according to higher, look at the higher.
Yeah, they were.
Okay, wait.
But I'm not saying that
The minimum was 11. The minimum.
I'm not saying that one was better than the other. I admit that the Atlantic slave trade was worse than the Islamic slave trade. But they're both bad, and they should both be condemned.
There was no Islamic slave trade.
You're trying to.
There was no. Wait.
Oh, don't call them slaves. Don't call them slaves. So
when you're quiet, when you're silent.
He has been doing this to me. So don't think that he's just a victim. He interrupted me as well. So.
Let me be a victim now. Carry on. Go on.
No,
I'll be a victim.
I'll let you, but
No problem.
I finished making my point.
Okay, now you finished. My point was again that when you use the word slave or slavery, it has nothing to do with Islam. First of all, I gave you examples. The Prophet Muhammad clearly in one hadith, in one report, he said, do not call other humans your slaves or your slave girls.
understand.
brother
You
wants
guys
to-
agree to the same thing. He's a Muslim. He just doesn't understand the
I had no problem with him.
I told you
Thank you.
so.
If I
Thank
said
you.
anything, I didn't mean to.
No problem.
We agree on the same thing.
But I'm not ashamed of Islam and Muslims. I'm very proud of Islam and Muslims. Okay, I will be proud until the day I die. Okay, okay. I'm not. I'm not. I'm very proud of our history. I stand by every single aspect of our history.
Are you proud of yours?
There are many parts of my history that I'm not.
You're allowed to
I'm not proud of all of my
How
history.
could you, as a white man,
That's-
come and question about slavery? Are you mad?
What? No, because I'm not defending.
You've got guts.
I'm not defending white slavery. You're
guts.
defending.
He's got
like,
guts.
I'm not defending white
But
slavery. You're trying to defend
to be
it.
fair with white people,
That's different.
It's like Bush
Wait.
Why are you killing innocent people?
Wait, no. He's not like them. I believe they were white people who were abolitionists, and they stopped this evil practice of Atlantic slave trade, the way slaves were treated, and they were transported and killed, literally killed off in millions. So the numbers were minimum 11 million and maximum 100 million. So the number was anywhere between 11 to 100 million for 4 centuries. The practice continued from the year 1450 to 1750. 1850s. And it took the Europeans 4 centuries to abolish it. But Islam, again coming back to Muslims, as James keeps insisting that slavery, Islam had slavery.
Yes.
When I say, did Islam have any of these things? How the African slaves were treated by the Westerners throughout 4 centuries, when they were put into ships, transported across the Atlantic and put into sugar plantations and killed off within 4 to 5 years. Did Islam treat the servants like that? To the contrary, I gave examples that servants who were bought from slave markets of Central Asia became kings. And there were 2 slave dynasties when the slaves were governing as kings. One of them dynasties was in Egypt, called the slave dynasty of Egypt, and these people governed from 1250 to 1517 until the Ottomans defeated them in battle, in war. The other dynasty was contemporary to the first dynasty, and that was in India. Again, Turkic slaves who became kings. Now show me an example like that in your slavery.
What do you mean in my slavery?
When you keep saying slavery, you're like a parrot. You keep saying
I understand.
slavery.
Okay, yeah, I understand. So,
do you understand?
There are no examples of slaves that were, as part of European slavery, made into kings. None that I know of. Okay.
Okay.
No.
So what about Islam?
You've had like.
What about Islam?
Yeah, I'll talk about Islam now.
No.
Okay, there are.
The fact that
come on. How long did I give you?
Okay.
How long did I give you?
Can you address the point though?
Yes.
That they were made kings.
Yeah. Okay. You've already said that slaves were made kings in Islam.
Can you address that point?
For God's sakes. Okay. So.
Is that good, bad, evil?
It is definitely better.
Misplaced?
It is obviously better that slaves.
Better. Someone's made a king. That's better.
No, but it's
language is very important. Language is very important. You see the bias which is coming out. This is the problem.
You're very selective in your understanding of what the Sheikh's saying.
And even the wording, selective in very wording.
Very
devilish on your part.
Okay. The full record will show, whether I'm being selective.
How did the slave become kings?
So, I'm not gonna No. Hold on. I gave you carte blanche to talk about whatever examples you wanted for about 3 minutes or so. I want.
No, but can you address them? Do you have the credibility to say yes? That's amazing.
Okay.
Isn't that amazing?
Okay, so
isn't that amazing?
I'm not going to answer the exact question.
Why not, James?
Because
James.
I gave you the ability.
Because you want to keep saying the word slave. Slavery in Islam. Slavery in Islam.
I didn't interrupt you and say answer this one particular question.
But James,
I gave you 3 minutes or so. I want the manners that you'd give me the same ability. I hope.
Oh my God! Okay. What's wrong with people, man?
So anyway, I'll admit that kind of Islamic slavery is a less malignant type of slavery
Less,
than
little less.
Yeah, obviously it's less malignant than kind of European slavery. However,
Less, little.
it's obviously,
No, James.
obviously malignant.
James.
No, you're
sorry.
exposing yourself.
You just said
Yeah, I said it's
little
less-
little.
I didn't say little. I said less. I didn't say
Less.
what
How
degree.
less? How less?
Well, I'm not going to answer that.
How less?
Yeah, significantly. But it's still,
How significantly?
It's still an awful thing that happens. It's still awful to take people from.
Okay,
their
I think
home.
we should stop now. The fight's kicking off. Leave them. Sorry, we're just. I don't know what's happening to the I'm not coming.
Hey, you see where you started? You see?